Sup gamers, how you guys doing? Welcome back to each and every one of you. It's Monday morning as of the recording of this video, but it will probably be like Tuesday when you guys finally see it. Yeah, I'm tired. As you can see, sleep has been eluding me for quite some time now. It's been about 2 weeks since I've had a good night's sleep. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully we'll fix that at some point. This was just too good. I could not share this with you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats because we're about to dive into absolute cuckoo town in this video. So last week, during one of the live streams, Rune Chaos, one of the viewers, shared a theory that they had. And it was bonkers at the time, but the more I started thinking about this theory, the more I started thinking, oh, wait, what? This could actually, unironically, be huge. And I know we say that often, but you know, that's sort of just part of the selling technique that is YouTuber. But this could actually really be massive. All right, so his theory effectively comes from two voice lines in cinematics in World of Warcraft. One is the Azora voice line where she and the fish, well, a conversation would be overselling what transpired there, but the fish told her to let go. And then the other is the voice line of Azeroth, where she tells Anduin and the others, hear me. You have these two voice lines, and they sound identical. I mean, not just, they sound like they are from the exact same source. Holy will do his business, and you'll hear them now. Let go. If you didn't hear them, Holy didn't do his job, in which case, what the fuck, Holy?
How rude.
But never mind. Okay, so, okay, first things first. A lot of people here will say, nah, fam, this is just the same voice actor, you doing the same lines because Blizzard is cutting corners. To that, I would say, Blizzard has been known to cut corners wherever they can, except on cinematics. Blizzard have never really cut corners in that way when it comes to the lore. Everything that I've been told, everything that I've been informed about, when it comes to cinematics, Blizzard is very particular about what they do and how they do it, what they put in, what they don't put in. Now, that doesn't automatically guarantee good cinematics, as we've seen with Dragonflight cinematics, but at the end of the day, if it's there, it's because Blizzard wanted it to be there. And it is entirely possible that this is just a coincidence and it is just the same voice actress. But what if it isn't? And since my job is to speculate, my job is to take your little hand and lead you through the realms of cuckoo the fuck out, right? We're gonna go there and we're gonna see what happens if these two voices are in fact the same thing. Now, first things first. This immediately led a lot of people to saying, oh my god, this is N'Zoth. It's not actually Azeroth that's speaking to them, it's N'Zoth. And to that I would say, you could be right. Or, it is Azeroth. And it is Azeroth that spoke on both occasions. It was Azeroth that said to Azora to let go. And it is now Azeroth that is telling her champions to hear me. Now, why and how? Well, we kind of know that that fish wasn't N'Zoth, because when you see the fish down below, the fish has a very different voice. Then the fish is, in fact, N'Zoth. So why would N'Zoth come to Azora in a quote-unquote female voice when in reality, you know, and then immediately change the voice? There's no logical reason for that. So I don't believe that it is N'Zoth that's speaking. I believe that it is Azeroth that's speaking. And I believe the reason for it can be found in, well, again, sort of building speculation theories on speculation theories. But Azeroth appears to be assembling her champions. She appears to be making a collection of champions to stand against the forces of the Great Beyond, to stand against the forces that had imprisoned her, to stand against the forces that had, and for those of you that don't understand what I'm talking about, I have multiple videos out now at this point, but I'll give you a quick recap of what the fuck I'm on about. I don't believe that Azeroth is a Titan. I don't believe that Azeroth is in any way related to the Titans or the Eternal Ones or the First Ones in any way, shape, or form. I believe that Azeroth has been imprisoned by the servants of the First Ones in order to build a closed-loop system. A system whereby they control the anima flow, and the anima powers them in return. And by keeping Azeroth in prison, keeping her asleep, they have full control over the system. This is why Sargeras tried to destroy Azeroth. This is why Zuvul tried to destroy Azeroth. You see, because both of them recognized that the only way they break this eternal cycle is by taking out the anchor of the cycle. Azeroth needs to be taken out. Now, I think Azeroth herself realizes that as long as she is in this prison state, she is vulnerable, and she needs us to basically set her free. She needs us to help her. Sylvanas said, this world is a prison and I will set us all free. And if we ignore everything that happened in Shadowlands after that, Sylvanas didn't set us free, but what did Sylvanas want to set free and how? Now, in this instance, I would say, if you think about the moments just before Azshara and the fish spoke, Azshara and the other elves were trying to summon through Sargeras. Sargeras had promised them great power if they would get him through, and for Azshara, since power is everything she cares about, this was the moment. But then things happen. The Well of Eternity becomes unstable, and it implodes. And now all of the elves are in grave danger. They're going to die. But what if everything we know about that entire moment is wrong? What if the Well of Eternity did not break due to the foul corruption and due to the incredible amount of power that was required in order to summon Sargeras? This has never really made sense to me. The Well of Eternity is one of the most powerful or sources, one of the greatest sources of power on Azeroth, because it is directly tied to the lifeblood of Azeroth, and it could not sustain summoning a Titan through? What if Azeroth herself imploded the Well of Eternity because she knew Sargeras could not make it here? If Sargeras makes it here while she is still in prison... Last night, I was watching Kong versus Godzilla. And there's this scene where Godzilla is coming towards the boats. And Kong is tied on one of these ships. And he's desperately fighting, trying to break himself out of these chains. Because Godzilla realizes, or Kong realizes, if he's chained and Godzilla arrives, he's fucked. He can't fight with an entire ship on his back. He needs to get free from these chains. And I sort of imagine that's exactly Azeroth. She realized in that moment she needs to destroy that well. She needs to implode it. She needs to overload it with power. And obviously, since they're trying to summon Sargeras through already, all she needed to do was give it a little boost, and it imploded. But then she went to Azshara in the version, or in the vision of a fish, and she said, let go. In other words, I'm going to turn you into one of my champions. I will not let you die down there. You can let go. I will catch you. Now, immediately, a lot of you will think, whoa, are you saying that the old gods and Azeroth work together? Not quite. But quite. The old gods are connected to Azeroth, and as a result of this, they're able to influence Azeroth to a great degree. But what if that influence goes both ways? So Azeroth is able to influence the old gods in much the same way. If that is true, then Azeroth could absolutely have used N'Zoth in order to turn Azshara into a Naga that would save her for when Azeroth finally has need of her. Think about the last words that Azshara said to Sylvanas. well, not the last word, but just after the last word, she said to Sylvanas, she said, I go to claim the ultimate source of power. And then we get the books and Dragonflight speaking about Azara making it beyond the Umbral Veil, and Azara now, heading somewhere, and she's about to claim the ultimate source of power. She just hopes that the children of the First Flesh remember the promise that they made, the pact that they made. Now, given what we know now about the War Within, I'm sort of starting to wonder about the Nerubians, if they may not be the children of the First Flesh, and if that promise isn't the promise that Azara is referring to here. But when you think about the relationship that Azara and N'Zoth had with one another, it never appeared as if Azara was loyal to N'Zoth. Azara's loyalties lay elsewhere. Azara was more than happy to give us the tools we needed in order to defeat N'Zoth. Why would she do that if she was indeed in league with N'Zoth? So I don't believe that Azeroth is working with the Void. My initial thoughts were that maybe the old gods were created by Azeroth herself. The problem with that theory is we have the old gods themselves claiming that they're from the Void and speaking about the Void Lords and the Masters coming, which would be very weird if the old gods were indeed created by Azeroth. Why the hell would they speak about these Masters that are supposed to arrive? It's far more likely that Azeroth is a being that is unique to our universe, and perhaps the only other being of its kind that existed at the time was Argus, and we all saw what Sargeras and Zuvald did to Argus. Maybe Azeroth and Argus were the only true beings of their kind left, or of their kind ever, and Azeroth is imprisoned currently. So Azeroth is slowly but surely moving the pawns around in order to assemble her fighting force. So she spoke to Azara, got Azara to relent control, something that Azara rarely if ever does. She then influences N'Zoth to grant Azara and her people the gift of fish, I guess, if we're going to call it gift of flesh. This is the gift of fish. And from there, Azara develops her power, but maybe also develops her links to Azeroth. Her bond with Azeroth starts to develop as she now dwells within the deep places of the world, much closer to Azeroth than previously thought. This is a theory. Of course, we have no evidence of this theory yet, outside of just very loosely based ones. But I'm going to get out of your hair. I've wasted enough of your time. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I've missed stuff? I'd love to hear from you in the comment section down below. If you want to subscribe over on Patreon. $1 a month keeps the channel free from sponsorships that want to sell you shit that you do not need. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, be kind to each other, be good to each other. And I'll see all of you in the next one. Peace.